named the Cobra roll because of the depiction in the sky with a smoke system of a cobra snake getting ready to strike. And that Hollywood stunt pilot was known as Frank Clark. For a long time they called that the Frank Clark roll because he invented it, but now it's known.
Yeah.
Called the bullet. It's called the bottle because of that fuselage. But for almost 60 years, nobody of them ever expect a pilot to do this deliberately. The big barrel roll, deliberately flying upside down, deliberately flying in knife edge flight, and deliberately doing the barrel roll. They would think he would be 1 second from death. Now, Jimmy Doolittle in these large engine GB racers, 767 airliner, 140 miles per hour. Look at this full inverted pass, very low and all the way down the flight line. That was on a Saturday. On a Sunday, early in the morning, the engineers, the designers, the draftsmen, the technicians and pilots who were going deep into enemy territory on their daylight bombing missions. This airplane and a couple of others were first able to provide cover for those bombers. Engaged in aerial combat, their role as a ground attack aircraft could destroy a convoy carrying guns, ground-based troops, ammunition, supplies, trains, you have it. They would clearly take them out of commission. Plus or minus 20 times the force of gravity without breaking up. Much more than any pilot could take because of the construction, once again. For a little insurance policy, a little bit of altitude, and see what Bob has in store for us next.
Now, starting the turn in, and we'll do a snap and roll sequence from, and Danny, I'm about ready to start it. Yeah.
About the descending line, that's known in the world of competition. About high and to your right with the altitude he needs, and as he mentions, he's going to really let her on. It is complete. Give Bob Davis a big round of applause, if you will, to join the International Aerobatic Competition. It is held by a different host country every other. Loss of a radio signal in this airplane is no problem either. And very soon, Andy will demonstrate that by actually turning the switches off. Look, down comes the antenna. Yes, nothing in my hand. I'll shake for these people. Back to the panel. Back conventionally guiding the aircraft. Right now he's having trouble spotting it, but it doesn't matter. Pretty low.
being the climax of Aviation Expo 1995. We have with us as well as Iwo Jima. In 1945, the paratroopers and Carlson Raiders were disbanded, and the 3rd and 5th Marine Divisions were formed. Bob and Doug were transferred to the 5th Marine Division and landed on Iwo Jima stripes raised on Mount Suribachi. They spent 38 days and nights fighting the battle for Iwo Jima, and were there to see the first bomber make a forced landing on the island after a bombing run on Tokyo. Bert Gustafson. Bert is from Denison, Iowa. He was with the 5th Engine of the 28th Marines, 5th Marine Division. He was assigned to the machine gun platoon as a machine gunner. He was wounded about March 3rd, 1945, and spent 10 days in an Army hospital on the island. He was then sent back to his unit for the final mop of the island of Iwo Jima. After the surrender of Japan, he did occupational duty for several months in Japan. Wallace Bees. Wallace lives in Tora Bomb Squad, has prepared a 21-gun salute. Of the Enola Gay, the B-29 that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and brought World War II to an end. If those gentlemen would come down here and join me right now, I would appreciate it. 50 years ago this year, and we're still lucky enough to have them with us. I also have Joe Schumacher, the president of Aviation Expo. I'd like to hear him come down right now, please. Joe, I understand. Okay, Joe, I understand that Colonel Tibbetts and the crew have something they would like to present to you.
Well, Jerry, I'll make a slight correction, ladies and gentlemen. He said the crew of the Enola Gay. He's got 1/4 of it. That's there's not too many of us left, and we're delighted to be here. We've seen a wonderful show, and I'm sure that you will agree with me that this is first-class entertainment. Am I right? Okay, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement that you lend. Now, there is one man responsible for it, whether it's a success or a failure. I've been through that, Joe, and I know. But today we're here to honor this man for his success in bringing this to Ankeny and to putting on the shows that he has put on under some adverse circumstances. I think that this weekend we've been blessed with halfway decent weather and so forth. So, Joe, with having said that, and at the risk of hurting people's ears, I would like to present to you a little token of our appreciation for what you've done for the people of Ankeny and the pleasure you've given us. Joe, this is one of the things that you put out here, but we thought that it would be most appropriate to have it encased in a frame and bearing our signature. So with that, Tom, if you'll hold the microphone so I can shake Joe's hand, I want to give it to you. Okay. My hand. Yeah, many, many more successful ventures.
Thank you, Paul, Tom, and Dutch. I guess I just don't know what to say, but thank you. So many entertaining the folks, and also trying to let everyone know that war is hell, and we thank you for what you did to bring that all to an end many years ago. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you will notice that we have two lines of people formed, one on the runway and one out across the Pacific. These are at least most or some of the people that make Striking Back possible. These are the guys that fly the airplanes, build the explosives, spot the airplanes, work all year long, tirelessly giving of themselves to make this show possible for you. They have something that they would like to give to the Enola Gay crew, as much as we have of them, and Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, salute. And crew members, I salute you. You do one heck of a job. Okay, now don't go anywhere, folks. We've got the second half of Striking Back to do yet. Always a loner in threes, always above 30,000 feet, and always with just one bomb. Finally, the word comes down from Alamogordo, New Mexico. Test successful. The first atomic bomb has been exploded. Military experts tell President Truman that if the bomb is not used, American casualties may number 1 million in an invasion of the Japanese home islands. The decision is made. The bomb will be dropped tomorrow. Consecutive B-29s crash and burn on the day before the atom strike. Navy Captain William S. Parsons asked General Thomas Farrell if he can assemble the bomb in flight, fearing that a crack-up on takeoff might obliterate Tinian. Captain Parsons has never assembled an A-bomb before. He now has 4 hours in which to learn how.
Click on well? Yeah. Right. Thank you very much.
Well, it's not often you get to be in the alpha.
Now go on a long trip with me. Imagine yourself on a hot, steamy island named Tinian somewhere in the Pacific. You have just climbed aboard a B-29. In the pre-dawn dark of August 6, 1945, you hear the whine of a starter. You see a puff of smoke, and number 1 engine comes to life. Moments later, engines number 2, 3, and 4 are running smoothly. Heavily laden with fuel, you begin your takeoff roll. Weather observers will go first. Depending on visibility, the strike will hit Hiroshima, Kokura, or Nagasaki. Colonel Tibbets will fly the strike plane, the Enola Gay. Time is 2:45 a.m.
Yeah, that. I think they cost a couple $100 or something.
5:55 a.m. over Iwo Jima, halfway to Japan, to climb and set a course to the northwest.
They used to have two models. Did you ever go to it with the night?
7:20. The bomb is complete. It is now alive. The undercast begins to break up, and the weather planes radio back that Hiroshima is the best target. 8:35. The two planes accompanying the Enola Gay peel off. What she must do alone. It's 9:11 a.m. Bombs away. 9:16. Hiroshima all but disintegrates. This blast signals the beginning of the end of World War II. Years ago, World War II was brought to an end by unleashing the greatest force known to man. Striking Back is presented not to celebrate war, but to remind us all what a terrible tragedy war really is, lest we forget. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes Aviation Expo's Striking Back. That's it. The B-29 is flown by Carl Spurlock, Lynn Jorgensen, and the radio man, Bob Hess. Okay, once again, the iWorks reactor is open. Go back and take a ride on that thing. If you haven't done it yet today, you've really missed a high one. You can fly with the Blue Angels. Oh, and we still got the TV raffle going on. For a lousy $1, you may get yourself a 19-inch color TV and a VCR. Right across the road here, in the little gray booth, Mo is over there selling tickets for that thing. We will draw a winner after we know that everybody that's bought one, has one, or once one bought one. Hasn't been very many sold yet. Chances are pretty good on that thing. It's a 19-inch color TV and VCR. Talk to Mo across the road in a little gray booth.
What we've got is a B-29, a B-17, and a C-47. They're all 1/5 scale models. The B-29 has a 29-foot wingspan. It uses 4 Quadra 100cc engines. It uses 7 channels to do all the flight operations. It has pneumatic retracts and electric flaps and does about all the things that the real one does. It weighs about 380 pounds when it's loaded up ready for flight.
How does it fly?
It flies very well. It's a big model, but the flight characteristics are very good. The takeoff and everything is usually pretty straight. The flaps and everything are operational, and it's just a good bird to fly. It does real well.
What's our next plane?
B-17. It's a little bit smaller than the B-29. It has a 21-foot wingspan. It uses four 4.2 Saxe-Dahmer engines for power. It weighs somewhere right around 200 pounds. I'm not sure exactly. It has pneumatic flaps, pneumatic retracts. It has pneumatic brakes coupled with the rudder to give you a little bit of help in the crosswinds. And it flies with scale 3-bladed propellers, just like the real one. And it's a real nice airplane to fly.
What is the construction of the wings and the body?
The fuselage is laid up fiberglass with plywood formers. The wings are a wire-cut styrofoam with a fiberglass skin on them, and wood spars.
Wow, incredible detail. What's our next plane?
Well, we've got a P-38 that one of the guys from Northwest Iowa flies over here. It's a 1/5 scale model. It has pneumatic retracts, uses 4.2 Saxe-Dahmer engines and 3-bladed scale propellers. I think it's about 125-inch wingspan, and I'm not really sure what the weight is on it. I don't get around it as much as the others. But
That's great.
down here we have one of our 1/5 scale B-25s. They have a 14-foot wingspan. They use 2 Saxe-Dahmers for power. They have pneumatic retracts. I think they weigh about 85 pounds, I believe is where they come out. This one, they mount a video camera in the nose of it and fly it during the Striking Back show. And get some pretty good footage with it. There's a lot of stuff going on then, and it looks pretty nice.
5 minutes to 12.
What's the scale on the B-25 again?
1/5.
1/5.
1/5. All of these are 1/5 scale.
Do you fly the B-25?
No, I do the B-29 and the B-17.
What's the number here, Carl?
Then we have a 1/5 scale C-47. It uses 2 Quadra 100s for power. It has pneumatic retracts, electric flaps. We carry about 6 little paratroopers in it that we can drop out over the battle scene. It has a 19-foot wingspan. This was one of the first airplanes used in Striking Back. I think we had this about maybe the second year that we did the show. So it's been with us quite a while.
Very good. I think that's about it. Thank you very much.
Sure. Hope it works out.